Yeah, look where we are.
It's IHOP, and like Easter's next week, or maybe Easter's like now when this video is coming out. But yeah, I mean, look at the peeps, yeah. Look at the peeps. Look at the peeps. Am I oral farming? Yeah, you are. All right, guys. So we sat down. We already ordered. If you're dieting, you can pretty much make anything work as long as you're thinking. Okay, so you're dieting. You want something to fill your stomach. You want to keep the calories low. What do? Liquids. Absolutely get liquids. Okay, so water, some coffee, right? They're gonna have, you know, artificial sweeteners anywhere you go. So pour yourself a nice cup of coffee before you get your food. All right. I like all sweeteners. I'm not that picky. We got Splenda today. I'll put that in here. Now I got something to fill my stomach before the food comes, so I'm not like starving. Okay. What did I order? I got a veggie egg white omelet. Okay. That's gonna be around 400 calories. Okay. I told them to skip the avocado, so I'm saving about 60 there. And then I also got 2 pancakes, which are only gonna be 350. So protein-wise, you're getting it from the veggie egg whites. And then the pancakes are just kind of contributing carbs, okay? I'm keeping fat low here because whenever you're at a restaurant and you're getting something where they're adding fat, you have no idea how much they're adding, right? With butter and oil, just forget it, okay? So if you can tell them like, hey, let's skip off, you know, any kind of added oils to this, or don't put any butter when you're making my omelet, they can do that, right? So just ask, you can do it. Now, a place like IHOP is amazing because they have like pretty much every kind of food. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They had steak here. You can get just some sirloin steak tips. It's pure protein. You can get a side of broccoli with that. You can get a side of fruit, and you have a very clean meal. So if you look at the first 2 pages, you might be like, oh, there's nothing healthy. Keep on going. All right, they have options for you specifically at IHOP. So really no excuse to cheat on your diets if you're actually serious about these goals. Just as I melt my plastic.
How do you feel about if you were cutting, only eating once a day?
Yeah, it could totally work. A lot of people that do like the OMAD 1 meal a day thing in an attempt to lose weight, and it works until it doesn't. Because in the beginning, you're going to be, you know, having 1 meal, and that meal obviously is going to be much less in terms of calorie quantity as opposed to having 3 meals. But eventually you'll realize that I'm only having 1 meal, so I need to make this count. And you'll start adding more and more to your plate because you know you're not going to eat until the next day. So subconsciously then you start catching up to the amount of calories you had when you're doing 3 meals a day. So 1 meal a day works only if you're actually staying on track with your calorie count, okay? I think that for most people that are trying to build muscle and lose fat, it's just not sustainable because then you have to kind of time that 1 meal with your workout, right? Like if you're not eating all day long, then you're gonna go to the gym at 6 o'clock. You're not gonna feel great, right? If you have to work out in the morning, it could be better because you have the food from last night. It's already digested. You wake up, you feel good, you go to the gym. You could do it, but I'm not going to recommend it also because of the amount of protein that you'd need to get in that 1 meal, right? Like for most people, we're talking at least men, 150 grams of protein. To get that in 1 meal, like, that's cake. For you, it's cake, yeah. But like for most people, they're not going to be sitting down to eat 500 grams of chicken breast, you know? It just doesn't sound good. So yeah, for the practicality of it, I wouldn't recommend it. For my clients, the lowest I'll do is like 2 meals a day. If it's like Ramadan or if they really just don't have a big appetite. Yeah. All right, guys, here's what we got. Brandon got the country fried steak, hash brown, pancakes. I got the Mexican tres leches, pancakes, and the veggie omelet. And we're having a ball here, okay? And he got 2 eggs. All right, guys, so salt, pepper on the omelet. I'm definitely low on sodium. Throwing out Cholula on it, you know, 0 calories there. You could do ketchup, just, you know, portion it out. It's like 20 calories per serving. So I'm gonna go for savory first, make sure I get my protein in, and then go after the pancakes. If I'm full and I don't finish them, that's okay. So that's what I recommend you do too. Always start with the protein and the veggies to fill you up, and then move on to the carbs, which you don't really need, all right? So I'm gonna enjoy this, and I'll give you my review when I'm done. Okay, all right, guys. This didn't last very long. It probably took me 60 seconds to finish that omelet. Give it a 9 out of 10. Brendan, what do you think about the Tres Leches pancake?
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah. So I've already kind of crushed like half of it. If you have an IHOP near you, try out the Tres Leches pancakes. They are banging.
Get more than 2 though.
Get more than 2. Get 4. I did 2 because I'm being health conscious, but get a lot. It is really good. So I'm going to give the omelet solid like 8.6 out of 10. Tres Leches pancakes, I'm going to go up as a 9.2. Yeah.
I was going to say you're the 9.
Oh, yeah. Brennan agrees. So, yeah. Well, as you can see, it is gone. And, Brent, are the pancakes, even though you had the Tres Leches ones, are your plain ones good? Yeah, they are.
Very good.
IHOP doesn't mess around. How's the milkshake?
Great.
Great.
Also great.
Yeah. Cookies and cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Banging. Best. So the last thing I'll say is, all in all, right? My meal, about 20-ish grams of protein for about 700 calories. You might be thinking, wow, that's terrible. Yeah, it's not great on protein. But the worst thing you can do when you're dieting is think, oh, I gotta eat more food to get my protein up. Actually, no. Calories are gonna be more important than the overall protein for when you're out like that, because you ate really well during the week with your protein, okay? If you have a little bit less on the weekend, it's okay. You're still gonna build muscle. But if you're overeating on the weekend, you're not gonna lose fat. So that's something to keep in mind. On the weekends only though. I wouldn't carry this thought process over throughout your week. Hit your protein, it'll keep you full. But when you go out, don't be like protein chasing the whole time, right? If you can get like 30 grams, great, okay? I could easily later in the day have a protein shake and be fine. So it's not a big deal. Don't chase protein in restaurants because you might end up going over your calories. All right. Guys, that's it for this one. Leave a comment if you have any questions about like the nutrition I discussed in here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.